Hi everyone, this is Larry Kevin and this is My Line in the Sand. We're going to be looking at some of our charting system today. First of all, let's look at, this is my chart 207, and first thing I want to talk about is uh, how many times do we weigh in every week, that kind of thing. What I do is I go through every 13 weeks, so about once a quarter, or every quarter we want to have 50 weigh-ins. And that gives us plenty of time off, including, for me, it's the weekends. I only weigh in Monday through Friday because I don't want to watch what I eat on the weekends at all. It's just normal, everyday celebration. And so I have the weekends off. I don't weigh in, so it's really good for me. That's the only way I can stay on the diet, because if you have to hit the diet, hit the diet, hit the diet, hit the diet, there's no breaks for me, and I think many others. You just can't stay on it. And so I like to have the weekends off, and and I also take other time off. As you can see in the gray, like on the 7th week, I went on a snowboard trip. The next week I had to camp out. And then this one week down here just wasn't not in the mood. I wasn't in the mood to keep track of my weight or whatever. And we'll talk about those time periods because we all go through them, and that's when most people lose their diet. They say, well, I can't stick to a diet, and so they get off of it. All right. Want to look over here at the low column. This blue column over here on the right is the low for the week. You see up here 233. That's what I started the year with on January 1, 2007. And actually that's when I decided to draw my line in the sand. I said I'm going to be 233, then I'm going to be 243, then I'm going to be 253 and 263. Finally I'm going to get a hover round, and then later it'll just be confined to bed because, just keep gaining weight, gaining weight, gaining weight, and gaining weight. So I decided that enough's enough. I drew my line in the sand at 233. And so these numbers here, all this blue is my low.
It's 2:30.
And that's what I'll graph as time goes on, so I can kind of see how my trend is working out. All right. So we'll go through the first week, and we'll start off here with Monday. I weigh in at 226, and it's in yellow. Yellow means good because you're under your line in the sand. So I drew my line in the sand at 233 because, again, that's what I weighed January 1, 2007. And I wasn't going to weigh any more than that the rest of my life. So my line in the sand, 233. So if you look at that first week, Monday, 226.8 is good. Tuesday, 227.6. And then Wednesday, you see 224, that's in blue, because that's a new world record. And I call it a new world record because that's the first time I weighed 224 anywhere in the world in 2007. So that's my new world record. And then I finished the week 227, 228. Now it's significant that we have that I get 5 weigh-ins in a row at a certain weight, then I can move my line in the sand. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Excuse me. Monday was under 227. Tuesday was under 228. Wednesday was under 224. Thursday was under 228. And Friday was under 229. So my line in the sand was 233, but because I had 5 weigh-ins in a row under 229, that now becomes my new line in the sand. And so I celebrate and write it down as a new line in the sand. And then I put that -4 because it's 4 pounds less than my original line in the sand. So that would have been a good week. Had a real good week that week because I was able to have 5 days in a row and form a new line in the sand. Plus, I also had a new low for the year. Of course, it was my first week, so we can expect that. Then the second week, Monday came in good, and sometimes your Mondays will come in good, but like I say, I don't weigh in on Saturday and Sunday, so sometimes I might celebrate a little bit too much, and then my weigh-in on Monday becomes a black Monday, and what that means is it's in black because it's over my line in the sand. And so in this particular week, which is kind of unusual, I only did this twice in 2007, I had four good weigh-ins after that Monday, so I went ahead and weighed in on Saturday so that I could get my 5 weigh-ins in a row and then move my line in the sand down. But that's kind of unusual. I'll just, if I have a black Monday, then that just means that week I'm not going to establish a new line in the sand, and I'll go for it next week. And sometimes you'll have a string, like here I have 4 weeks in a row that was real good, then I had 2 black Mondays, then I had a good Monday, then I had my snowboard trip, but then I had a Monday and Tuesday good after that, then I went on a winter camp out, and then it just went bad for a while. There was 1, 2, 3 weeks of a lot of black weigh-ins. Now, as long as I have 75% of my weigh-ins under my new line in the sand, I still own it. So all these, as long as 75% of my weigh-ins after 229 or under 229, then that's still my line in the sand. When I went down to 227 the second week, I had to have all
It's
my
8:30.
Well, thank you. I had to have 75% of my weigh-ins under 227 to keep that line in the sand. At 226, I had to have 75% of my weigh-ins to keep that line in the sand. All right, let's see. Let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, now let's look at the second week, and then we'll talk about that. So I came in at 225, which let's look at that. On Friday, I weighed 228, and then again, I don't weigh in on Saturday and Sunday, but yet on Monday I weighed in at 225. So what does that mean? Well, that actually I didn't pig out those Saturday and Sunday, so I actually did pretty good on those days. Then I had a good Tuesday. Actually, I gained a little bit, which is kind of normal since I went down so far. And then Monday had a new world record, 222.8. Now, how do I get that? Well, I usually exercise. I always weigh in after I exercise in the morning. And so for me, it's 50 minutes of running. I run for 50 minutes and do 5 miles. I do 10-minute miles. And so in 50 minutes, I can get 5 miles completed. And so I think that's really what helps me bring my line in the sand down, is the fact that I do my exercise. I could not do this very well or not be as successful without exercise. You've got to move to lose. And so then I ended up that week, I had 5 in a row, and again, I guess we can look at that real quick. Under 226, under 227, under 223, under 226. Notice 225 is not under 225, so that would only count in the case of 226, and then under 226 on Friday. So all 5 weigh-ins were under 227, which is a new line in the sand, 2 pounds lower than my 229, and 6 pounds lower than what I started out with at the beginning of the year. All right, so we'll leave it at that. That's the first 2 weeks. When I come back, we'll talk about more weeks and go through the chart a little bit more.